With the growing popularity of chat platforms such as Telegram, Discord, and Slack, which claims to be utilized within over 70% of Fortune 100 companies, many companies are taking to using these platforms for everyday communications, to in some cases even task automation. With the popularity of these chat platforms growing, cybercriminals are also taking notice as well and starting to use these services to blend in with normal traffic for their command and control operations. First, though, let's see how these systems are intended to be used by normal users of these systems. Here we have two users, Bob and Steve, discussing plans for lunch. But first, the admin Steve needs to fix a production issue. While in this case, Steve is not using any of the chat platform's native API functionality to do any interactions with the system, this is possible to communicate with remote systems and interact with them over the API. Now that the production issue is solved, Bob and Steve are free to go to lunch. They have no worries about leaving their desk, as this chat platform is accessible via their smartphones anywhere they go. This helps them become more productive even while they are away from their desks.
Next, we will show you how a cybercriminal can take advantage of using a chat platform as means of command and control communication. Imagine an attacker has already infected his victim's machine. In this video, the attacker performs a directory listing of the files on victim's machine using a command he prefers. The commands are processed by the malware and then perform specific actions depending on the received messages. He can also check the current directory he is working at or change directories so he can browse other files on the directory. One possible scenario of attack is retrieving a file from victim's machine. Once a file of interest is found, it could be based on file name or properties of the file. He can simply send the file back to the communication channel and download it to his machine. Files could be a simple text file, a Word document, or a spreadsheet which contains valuable information for the company. Some chat platforms limit the file size of the uploaded files, which could be a limiting factor when an attacker wants to get a file with huge file size. In this scenario, our attacker has decided to get the file passwords.txt. The file contains credentials to a company's payroll system and also a corporate account. Another possibility of an attack is when a cybercriminal decides to further compromise a victim's machine. If the attacker decides to pivot from that infected machine, he can simply download a second stage malware to its victim and then execute the malware for other malicious purposes. Depending on the commands that the author includes on the malware, anything could be possible in this type of attack.
After the attacker downloaded the malware as previously shown, it was then executed on the remote machine. However, due to the download of the malware itself, the security staff at the company got an alert. This alert was then investigated by one of the analysts. After logging into their dashboard, the analyst sees that there was a potential malware download based off the alert itself. Digging further into the event, the analyst sees that the alert came from a specific host within their network. From there, Going to the IDS logs, the analyst then is able to determine the host on the internet that was hosting the malware as well. During this entire process, you'll notice that the chat platform itself is never flagged. This is because it is an authorized service used by this company. Looking at the raw logs, the analyst was able to determine the hash of the file that was downloaded. From there, the analyst then goes to a well-known virus checking website and searches for the hash. As shown, the hash is proven to be a malicious file, and if the attacker had not downloaded this file, this intrusion may have never been detected.